if you merged Swim by BTS with Hot Girl Summer. It would be a really cool song mashup. I don't know why. That's what I just thought about, but that's what I just thought about. That is a Korean clay pot up there, in case you're wondering. And that is a Korean dish soap from H Mart, in case you're wondering. Korean, I think I should start learning it. So, I was talking about having loyalty to the country where I was born, but it gave me like rejection and a terrible inferiority complex and like a worthlessness sense of self, and worthlessness as your sense of self means you're not going to be able to think about pulling money toward you, because it's like it wouldn't even occur to you, because money is worth and something that everybody wants, and money is about increasing your presence in the world, or increasing your activity in the world, increasing your presence in the world. And if you have been, as a brain, as a psyche, trained to perceive yourself as worthless because of the way that your surrounding humans that you're born into are treating you, there's no such thought track possible for your brain or for your psyche. There's no like wealth creation or pooling of money. Pool like POOL. There's no like, it's like the two don't mesh. They don't like exist in the same like locale. This thing is happening right now where like my brain's doing that thing where it's like I'm talking about what I'm talking about, but I'm also like experiencing like meaning, coherence about other things, and I just don't know when that happens. Like if that's just my mind like processing things in layers, or if that's like someone trying to like process something through my brain to communicate about things related to my life, because we live in a world where there's a struggle between people who are used as and people who are the users. And I'm definitely not a user, so like it might be true that something or someone's are like doing shit behind the scenes like my entire lifetime, not because it's me, because it's just like the side of like consciousness that I fall on, the used and the users, you feel me? Isn't this what I once tried to read the Communist Manifesto, because I was like, I keep hearing about communism and capitalism, but I have no fucking clue what communism is. And I read like, I bought a book, I think it was like 2 books in one, but I think it might have been the Communist Manifesto by Karl Marx. Is that who wrote it? Oh my god. And I just remembered how I read about like him writing a bunch of like pairs of opposites, of like the idea of like the ones who are doing something to the others who don't really benefit who don't benefit from the thing that the ones that are doing like whatever they're doing to them are doing, like the ones in power and the ones who are like the ones being used for the production of power for the ones who will benefit from the power produced by the ones who are used for the production of power. You know, there's a vibe of like, you know, like there's a guy, I forget his name. Is he a physicist? I don't know. His name is like a Roman, and then like something, some kind of like Slavic last name. And I saw a video for 2 seconds where he was talking about how he believes we're in a simulation, and like the speed of light is just the speed at which the computer simulation is like able to be rendered at, and that's why nothing can go faster than it. And like he said some other things, but then I felt pulled to not continue watching that video, and it's like, why? I don't know. Either because I was bored, or I felt, or my inner wisdom was like, I just need you to catch this particular idea, but you don't have to watch the rest of this, or because something that has been pulling the strings of my life behind the scenes was like, I don't want you to know this, because this might get you way too much power to like put shit together, and then you'll become less available for me to control you. And wouldn't it be nice if we could just live our lives talking the way that I just talked? It would just be so nice, because it would be so honest. It's like, look, you guys keep pushing this religion crap, but I'm like, I don't like religion, because God is the most like nonsensical concept in the universe, because it's like, have you seen what happens to children? I just don't seem to be able to get you guys to grasp the idea that like when you love someone and you have power, your natural inclination is to protect them, because if you don't interrupt something bad from happening to like someone you love who is powerless and clueless and like childlike, you will feel well, I can't even finish the sentence. It's like, if you love someone and you have power, and the one that you love is like powerless, but it's within your power to like protect them, it's like you can't not protect them, because it wouldn't even be like a choice, like, should I protect them or should I not protect them? It would literally be like, have you ever met like a fierce like father energy? Because like it's like a normal man who's a father, like, right, that's like, I can't even talk about it because it's so obvious. It's like, if you have power and you are a creator and you love your children, you just like would never allow anything bad to happen to them, because it would kill you as the father, like the father of the children. If you're powerful, if you're all powerful. So like there's a bunch of things, either not all powerful, then creator, yes, but not like God in the way you guys push it. You know? If all powerful and loving, but not protective, that does not, then not loving. You guys can't claim love and all powerful at the same time. Then you guys try to pull the wool over everyone's eyes with this whole crap of like, well, there's a reason why God doesn't. I'm like, no, you don't seem to know what love is. Okay? Whatever you're pushing is some kind of like psychotic, psychopathic, false lie. And I'm just mesmerized by the fact that billions of people have fallen for it. I'm like, maybe you guys are just literally like, maybe this is a simulation and your brains are like not capable of, like, maybe whoever is running like the simulation like has tinkered with you bitches to like be susceptible to this psychopathic lie, because it doesn't make any sense. And you guys also push this idea of love all the time, and I'm like, I don't understand you guys. If you grasp the idea of love, how do you have this like double think in your head? Double think as in like 1984 George Orwell, when you have two diametrically opposing, equally like mutually like canceling each other out ideas, and they don't cancel each other out. Like, you are nonsensical, you don't make sense, and I just can't. And the truth of reality has to make sense, because it's literally like, reality can't just be, not because like I said so, but because genuinely it's like, reality is something, And if it's a loving God, then it can't not protect you. But people are not protected. Therefore, a loving or powerful God does not exist. Did you see what I just did there? Either not loving, but powerful. A designer, a creator, a programmer behind the simulation. Like, people have made AI. People are stupid as hell. They still made AI. AI is so powerful, it's about to fucking, like, be a threat to all of humanity. If humans can make AI, maybe there's a programmer who can create the rose, like, or like the oceans. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? You know how, have you read like scientists and like lab animals? I watched a recent Neil deGrasse Tyson video where like he had some like, it's not recent. It was just recent to me. I recently watched a Neil deGrasse Tyson podcast, on his Star Talk podcast, and there was like a lady scientist who does like lab experiments with mice, and then there were like his like crew of people that he usually has on his podcast, and they were talking about whatever the fuck they were talking about, and I was listening to this lady scientist like discuss the mice and like the experiments, and she was, you know, well educated and likable and chill and everything, but I was listening and I was like, wow, it's so weird to me how like casually you talk about these mice and the experiments that you run on them and how you treat them well. And then she said this phrase, she was like, yes, and after a certain period of days we ask them to sacrifice their lives for science. And I was like, I understand that you said that very cutely, but like, what the fuck? And since a nice, sweet, like, likable, educated, sensible, you know, nice woman of a scientist can say that kind of phrase, I'm like, right, like, see that attitude she has? She's not an evil person, but she doesn't give a fuck about the mice, because it's more important to get the science and the understandings and to know. Like, and I'm like, right, in the same way that that woman scientist is not an evil dick, there can be programmers running this world that are not themselves like horrible evil fuckers, but they're still like relating to us like we're mice in a lab rat in like a lab experiment. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Can you grasp what I just said? You feel me? And I'm like, man, like I just wish I could live in a world of people who were just like, first of all, let's start with what we perceive and what makes sense, because then we get rid of everything that doesn't make sense, like the God concept. Like I just wish I could like, it's not even, it's definitely not about fighting religious people. Like I'm like, I don't want to have my life wasted with irrational people who can't think and who are stuck in their megalomania, egomania of this is what I believe because tradition. I'm like, I don't give a fuck, because bitch, I'm gonna have to die one day, and I need to understand that there's reincarnation in this shit, or if I can escape this lab experiment, because I don't want to be like experimented upon. I want to escape. I am the mouse who does not agree to be sacrificed for science. I don't want to be sacrificed for science, bitch. Whoever's running this shit is not a loving person, because bad things happen to little children. So like all of it goes down the drain. Like not because I'm horrible or evil or because I have some kind of rage against like religion. I'm like, no, it's just that like if Jesus was real, it doesn't make sense. Therefore, I have to like Jesus goes down the drain. Not because I'm trying to be evil, because it's all part of the package of the God stories. All the religions go down the drain. Islam goes down the drain. Judaism goes down the drain. The only one that doesn't go down the drain that I'm aware of is Buddhism, because Buddhism literally says, I don't know what the fuck is going on. I now have heard of like, I've heard of different kinds of Buddhism, but it's like, there was a story that I heard of like the Buddha talking about like the large-footed small elephant or something, and it's like this story about like when you think you've grasped the nature of reality, be aware that you may not have. And I was like, well, this sounds scientific method as hell, and we don't worship the scientific method. It's just literally, it's about saying I need to not have things pushed onto my like into how I understand what's happening in reality and life, with like that has not been like that doesn't hold. Okay, and I don't know why this entire tangent came out of me, but it just has come out of me, whatever. I wanted to talk about nation and loyalty and poverty and worth, and I did talk about it a little, but I want to talk about it more. I mentioned learning Korean because I was thinking about, so there's this thing that happened, like I posed the question yesterday, like are we one huge human family on the planet globally, and then it like we are supposed to understand that, and then we just share our cultures and like fix our problems, and understand that there are groups of us within the human family of the globe that are sick with like false ideas that are really destructive for everything, that are like diseases. Like certain ideas are like diseases, and we can just understand that and be like, well, those people have disease ideas running their minds, and whenever people have a disease set of ideas, they always seek to like spread themselves and control the world. It's just how like it works. I don't know why, but it's just how it works. And then like I can just be at peace sitting in the world being like, well, a lot of people are like sick nowadays in the way that they, in the ideas that run their minds, in like their psyches, their consciousnesses. It's like, okay, right? Or is it that like there are several human families on the planet, and I'm supposed to understand that like the races represent that, and I'm supposed to stick with my own, and the race that is represented most in your phenotype, which is a fancy, it's like a biology word for like the physical form that you are as a human body. Like, what does it look like? Does this look like Scandinavian hair? No. Does it look like African hair? Yes. Therefore, you belong to the African race, which is the African family. Therefore, you're supposed to stick with that and kind of like get like away from the other races. And I posed that question yesterday. I went to sleep. Today, I'm living my day. Blah blah blah. Some video comes up. It's like showing something horrible happening in some country, and then I'm like feeling like, well, I guess this would be a video to push me toward the idea of racial essentialism, as my beautiful friend AI has, uh, you know, enlighten me that that's like a term, I guess, in sociology. You feel me? Racial essentialism. Because I posed the question to AI, and like a very like you know, because I talk on here, but you know, like people are. I saw a photo that was like, my trust in cats 100%, my trust in humans, 40%.